Hello and welcome to the latest portfolio update. As you can see, the portfolio hasn't changed since last week. We've been very sideways in the market. It's all over the place, but really it's not seeking out any direction. It's just bouncing all over the place. Um, the week's total is only $46.79. As you can tell, on Monday we had lost $4, then we had gained 39 cents on Tuesday, $41 Wednesday. Thursday was at 53, and then on Friday I have returned 44.79 back. I am currently looking at two more trades, so four companies, two to long, two to short, and today we'll go through the process of adding these positions to this portfolio manager. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a copy of the master template. Okay, and we're going to name that Purple Bind. This is Purple Innovation against Beyond Meat. Purple Innovation is a mattress manufacturer that's been affected by a grave injury of one of its employees, and it's suffered over the last few months. And then Beyond Meat is just a company with a horrible product, and it tries to sell it to the wrong market. They were targeting fast food places, and as we all know, most of those places, they don't cater to vegans. These guys make laboratory meat. So it's meat which is not meat, and I do not like this company. So let's go through a process of adding these two companies to the spreadsheet here, and we'll see how their performance is. So it's Purple Bin. Let's just rename this. We're gonna add them here as well. UIND. And then to populate this sheet, I'm gonna need a little bit of information. So for that, we're gonna go to Yahoo Finance. Okay, go to finance.yahoo.com. It's already there. And we're looking for some information on Purple. So we'll go to Purple. And we're looking for their historical data. Also, what I'm looking for is their monthly beta, which is 1.5, which I can now enter into here. 1.5, and that dictates how many units you're going to actually have to purchase on the south side to make sure that you're perfectly hedged. Okay, what other information am I interested in over here? I'm also interested in their historical data. I'll show you how or why in a moment. So I'm going to copy this link over here, Control C. I'm going to minimize this guy now, and we're going to go to data. We're going to go to new query from other sources. We're going to pull this info from the web, and we're going to use that same link which we just copied in the browser for Purple for the history. I'm going to paste that into here and click OK. Now hopefully everything shows up on the same screen. Otherwise, I'll try to drag it all in here just to show you the whole process, but sometimes this ends up on different screens. Just bear with me for a moment. It's establishing the connection currently. And this is the process that first takes a little bit of work to put it all together, but it just automates it all for you down the line. You can come back to this data over and over and over, and it's always going to be there, and it's always going to, just pull the information for you automatically. What do we do from here? So we access the web page. The website has two documents on it. It has a document which has absolutely no data, and there's got a table. The table is the actual data I'm interested in, but sometimes this data comes across corrupted due to dividends and other things being posted in it. So those would create double entries for a single day. So you want to actually go and transform the data. See, here's a window that opened up and you cannot see it. I'm going to try to bring it up so that everybody can see what I'm doing here. And this data, this one here doesn't have any errors, but in case it did, you'd go to remove rows and then you would remove duplicates. And if there's ever any errors come up in this thing, it will actually remove those for you moving forward from here. So then we're going to not go to close and load, but we're going to close and load too. This opens up another window instead of just loading it into your sheet. The reason I clicked load to is because I want to have I want to have control over where this data gets displayed. So I want it to go to an existing worksheet, which is B41. This is the button, actually um, the square that I have picked out over here. And we're also going to add this data to the data model, meaning that it's going to work with everything else on the page. And we're going to load. And you'll notice this here is going to populate, and the price for purple actually have a chart or a graph there. It's actually going to start populating. Not done yet. Getting there. The price for this has been down. This is a little bit of a turnaround stock. They've hit an all-time low, and I see this thing actually going up from here, considering all things in the background. This is a pretty good company, actually. Their current price is at 1042, so that's where we're going to enter this. Mind you, this entry price will change. And according to me putting in 950, let's just change that to 900. I don't want to go above my maximum, which is 10% of the portfolio. This would require me to buy 86 of their shares. Okay, so 86. And then if we go to bind, or BYND, which is Beyond Meat, company we don't like so much, we look for those guys. Beyond Meat. Their PE is at 1.58. So I'm going to take away this for a moment. We're going to add that to our data here. This is actually a very good pair. You want these two numbers to be very close, and the ratio as close to 1 as possible. Meaning they move, obviously this one moves 1.5 times the amount the S&P 5 moves, and this one is 1.58 times the amount that S&P moves. Why is that important? Well, you want these stocks to have more volatility. This is essentially a volatility, a measure of volatility, and you want these to be higher than the S&P. So anything higher than 1 is going to move more. What is price? 66.58. I'm going to enter that manually. Oh, not all the numbers entered. 66.58. And my calculation here tells me that I should sell 12 units of Beyond Meat at $66.58 a share. So next what we're going to do is we're going to bring in the history. So once again, back to Yahoo Finance, we're going to go to historical data. There we go. I'm going to copy the link. And I'm going to click on that little area there. That's why I have it in yellow, so I never click on the wrong. Then we go to data, new query, from other sources, and from web again. And then paste that link into here. This is Beyond Meat link on Yahoo Finance. Okay. You're just repeating the same process that we just did, but now on the short side. Once again, table 0. Once again, the data looks pretty good, but we're still going to transform it just in case in the future they do have some dividends come out and doubles do get created. We don't want those doubles because they would come out as errors in our data. So we're going to remove the duplicates, and this is something we're going to do every single time. Then we're going to close and load 2 again. Not load, because that would just load it into a brand new sheet. We don't want that to happen. We want this to go to the sheet that we want it to end up on in a specific area, which is right here. Then we're going to go to existing worksheet, M41, and add this data to the data model. Load. And you'll notice that this is going to populate. This is something it's a turnaround story for purple. Is it going to work? I don't know. If it does, great. And that's just about it. I'm taking some risk and hopefully it goes well. As you can tell, the ratio over here is actually jumpy, but if this company does move, it's going to move in a really big way really quickly. Am I worried about it too much? No, not really. It's such a small investment that it doesn't really matter. And so that's purple and Beyond Meat. And if we open this, I would enter that here, and then all the data would go into the summary once these are actually open. They're not actually open right now, so we're not going to do that. And I will repeat the process for BWA and Riven. This is the long and short in the auto industry, and I'll enter that a little bit later. There's no need to go through that twice today. But, the portfolio update is 128.44 cents of unrealized P&L. For the week, we are up $46.79. Not great, not bad at all. I mean, it is what it is. They're not negatives this week, which was last week was pretty bad, but this week is pretty good. So anyway, that's the update. And next video, you'll see these most likely see these trades already being traded. If not, then I will be adding them within a short period of time. I'll look for a good entry position. As you noticed, I've deleted a lot of a lot of trades here due to the fact that I actually closed them. They weren't working out, so I cut them short at 10%, and I'm moving forward to find something else that does work. Abbott, if we go through some of the ones that I currently have, I'm really losing out on the ACN. As you can tell, instead of going up, the price has actually gone down 50 bucks. And then Zoom, I'm making some money because it's gone from 176 to 159. If we look at Abbott, I'm also losing on this one, but I'm winning on the Lululemon. And so those two trades, because they are offset by a short, even though I'm losing such a large amount on one of them, the short position is actually covering a lot of that. As I'm waiting for this company to actually recover, and let's go zoom in on that, and you'll see what I'm talking about. This company, ACN, has very volatile history. Just within the last 4 months, it's like this is on a single day, it would go up $25 or would go down $19 on a single day. Zoom Media up 17 bucks and down 35 bucks. What does that tell me? That tells me that my 10% ratio, I'm currently losing 2.55, but if I see something like this, like this tells me, okay, you're losing 12% on this one trade and you should probably replace it. That's why it's popping up in red over here. But I'm not going to close that just yet because just due to the volatility of this company, how active the price is, I would expect for this to happen. So I would wait for 20, and that would represent a loss 20% of $950, which would be 190 bucks or whatever. It's not a lot. And like I said, these are not big wins and these are not big losses. They're not options, they are outright stocks, and they're not as, you're not going to see these huge jumps as a result. So this trade currently, even with this huge 12% drawdown on the long position, is losing only $12.57. The other one's working out pretty good, and I'm holding on to it. It's only losing 3%. It's not a big deal. Then we're going to go to Cwk Itri, which is Itron. The ratio here is growing steadily. We're at 745. It's 30 days old, but currently I'm sitting at $70.36 for this trade, which is good. EVA, $79.34. So close to each other. But once again, nice growth, and so I'm sticking with it. If this number gets to 30, I will probably add on to this position because it's working out so well. And then there's Abbott Lulu. As you can tell, we're at current spread of 3.04. Today's spread change was 1.04. And currently we're still losing $16.69 due to the Abbott. Why am I still holding on to it? Price action. I believe it's hitting the bottom of a channel on a chart, and I'm holding on to that. And I don't want to make this video about charts and showing you where I make decisions based on that, because that's like the very last thing I do. And it's not really all that important. It's important for entry. And I will make a video when I'm actually going through these trades here, purple bind. When I enter these, I'll make a video about that and I'll show you exactly where I've entered them. And when I look at the chart, what it is that I look for a perfect setup, okay? And that's just price action. I don't look at indicators or anything like that. I want to see what's going on. And okay, if there were any indicators I'd be looking at, would be the moving average, 20 moving average, a 60 moving average, and a 250 moving average. Okay, those three. And if anybody tells you to look at other ones, tell them why or ask them why. It's not because everybody else uses it. That's what they want you to use. Do not use those. Use 20, 60, and 250. And why do you use those? Well, what is a 20? A 20 represents 20 business days. Okay, what is 20 business days? It's a month. Okay, so it's 1 month. Why is 60? It's 60 business days. What is 60 business days? It's 3 months, so that's a quarter. And what's a year? A year is 250. So why would I be using 200 and like a 50 and any others? Use 20, 60, and 250, and you'll see how the price action works around those. It's actually pretty cool. Um, so Abbott Lulu. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be closing any of these. And even though this one here has such a drawdown, just look at the ratio. The ratio is not doing all that bad. I mean, the ratio overall, it's very jumpy historically, and this is the last 4 months. And I would expect for this to jump up as much as it did down. So I'm crossing my fingers on this one that it doesn't go past 20, and I don't have to close it. But for now, I'm holding on to it, and we'll see what happens next. And so that's it. Another thing, maybe VIX 19. It's actually lost a lot. The volatility is not there. This essentially goes up whenever the market goes down. The S&P 500 sideways action, and overall for the last week, it's actually been down. The 10-year is going up, which is also reflected in the yield here. The USD Canadian, we're sitting at 1.2540. The gold, there's my silver, copper, and oil steadily rising. All right, so that's it. Once again, 128 floating, 46 bucks for the week, and yeah, we'll see you next week. See how it goes. Peace.